Well, The Boys just ended their fourth season, and I have to say that I have mixed thoughts because I love this series and the comic book too. Because I love this series and also the comic book. I've been reading it from beginning to end in preparation for the season, and I have to say that there's so many things that the show did right, but also a lot of things that they missed, things they could have done better, and I just feel like it's important to talk about it before the explosive season 5, which is going to be amazing. And for readers of the comic book, you know what's coming next. So I'm really excited for that. But season 4 feels more like a bridge between the awesomeness of season 3 and also the explosive finale of season 5, if they do it according to the comic. So buckle down and stick around for my thoughts on season 4. I'm just going to go through my primary thoughts and then go and discuss some of the side stories and some of the character development that happened here, because I feel like it is important to take into context the whole series and a lot of things that happen and realize that this season is very consistent with the other ones in terms of themes, in terms of the politics it touches. I'm not going to go too much into that. I was going to give my thoughts on the quality of the show, but I feel like it was important to mention that this, I think the show is very consistent in terms of like politics and the buttons they push. So with that out of the way, let's go into the plot of season 4 of The Boys. Also, this review is going to have spoilers for all the other seasons of The Boys and season 4, so you've been warned. So this one picks up a little bit after season 3. It follows the rest of the boys who try to kill Homelander. That's been kind of like the objective since the first episode. And it continues some of the previous storylines, especially Butcher's, which is that he is dying from the Capone V he injected in the last season. And I think that storyline was well done. Throughout the entire season, Butcher looks like an extra from a zombie movie, and I think that works for his character. But it kind of felt annoying at times because I kind of missed the Butcher from previous seasons, who doesn't show up until the very end. But I feel like his arc, and also starting to go crazy from his Compound V disease that has been going on in his mind. He starts seeing like these new characters that come in, especially as a new character played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, which, you know, it was as surprising as seeing the sunrise when it was revealed that he was in his brain. I really love that character, and I think it was very obvious that he was like a hallucination from Butcher, especially since he was the only one that could see him. But I think the storyline was done well. Some of the others, especially Huey, Starlight, and Kimiko, had good character developments throughout the show, especially the story of Huey and his dad. But those storylines get picked up really fast and then just like forgotten. I don't think it had like that much impact. Like you see a couple scenes of Huey just mourning his father's passing, but it just doesn't really show up until like the very end. And the big one I'm going to talk about now is Frenchie's storyline. Oh boy, this one was controversial. But yeah, Frenchie has his own storyline in this season, which honestly I didn't enjoy at all. I think it came out of nowhere, and his relationship with Colin was as exciting as seeing the grass grow. I didn't think it was well done, especially with how well his relationship with Kimiko was built up during all of season 3 and season 2. And here it just kind of like that gets forgotten and then picked up in the first few episodes with a completely different character, which I thought was really strange and didn't really add much to the story. But those were my thoughts during the first 3 episodes. I feel like during episode 4 and 5, then you kind of gets revealed like what happens with Frenchie's past and why he is related to this person, because he's the one who killed his family and he gets discovered. And I feel like that was executed well. It just took a while to get used to it. And then like over the build up of the couple episodes, you thought it was not going anywhere until the very end. And it gets redeemed towards the end with his relationship with Kimiko. I think we all expected that. I thought it was pretty amazing to see that towards the end, but I feel like it could have done a better job, like just building up to that moment. Everything else in season 4 of The Boys is as amazing as always. The fighting scenes, the action, the violence, everything is just so funny, and it keeps up with the spirit of the comics. I feel like there's no wrong there in that department. I could have used a bit more epic moments. I feel like since Gen V last year, they kind of toned down like some of the big events. For example, Soldier Boy versus Homelander last season was like the peak of The Boys. I feel like that whole episode 6, was just so amazing, and I feel like that's the bar of the show right now. And if season 5 is as amazing as the comics, they're probably going to reach there. But I just hope that they would do more with season 4. Like a little bit more, like instead of just serving as a bridge from 3 to 5. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think about this season. Finally, I think Homelander was great. His character is always amazing, and he becomes so much more unhinged. I feel like all the villains in this show, the superheroes in this universe, but the villains, we all know they are just straight up evil. For example, the Deep, A-Train. Well, A-Train has this whole other arc, but I feel like especially Deep and Homelander and some of the new characters, for example, Firecracker, they just become the most unhinged version of themselves, like throughout season 1 to 3. And then this one, they just push the bar all the way to the top. If you've seen the season, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I just really loved it. There's not really much else to complain about. A few plot holes here and there, like some character development that just seems kind of weird. For example, like how Huey is just kind of like very upbeat and happy by the final episode after all the crap he's been put through the entire season. I feel like that was weird. Like a lot of the characters' motivations and like just the way they act was not consistent. And I feel like the ending just was pretty cool, and it leaves a lot to see for the future. I feel like that cliffhanger is gonna be amazing for season 5. But yeah, I think with this video I was gonna rant way more than I did right now. But I liked the season. I think it was good. It had moments where it redeemed itself, and yeah, those are pretty much all my thoughts. So overall, I'm gonna give The Boys season 4 a 78 out of 100. I think it's kind of like the least quality in the entire show until now. But given how good the series is overall, I don't think that's a big deal. And it's much better than Gen V. I've talked about how I don't really like Gen V that much, but I feel like this season was really good. So anyways, those are pretty much all my thoughts. If you liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos.